should be in the shower. But alas, I am not. Um, it's kind of rainy and cold. And if you're new to me, yes, I have a port in. I have IVIG this week. And I'm allowed to be in the hot tub as long as I don't get this, they call this the pigtail wet. But no, this was kind of important to me to talk about. Well, now I really can't see. This thing is 105. It's only allowed to be 104. I don't know why it got so hot. Feels good though. Okay, I had to give up. I can't see. February, is today the 12th? Yeah, Friday's Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. So this morning, got up, got the day going, and opened up the backpack. And Amos's teacher, who I adore, had said important paperwork in the backpack. Well, you know, if there's one thing I should have learned by now, and if you are a mother of a special person out there, you are going to totally know what I'm talking about. Psychological testing reports are literally a form of torture. And though you would think you would get used to it, like when we got the autism diagnosis at 3, that was really, really hard. Every time I get one of these reports, it is literally soul gutting. I haven't like really cried because I was like, if I start crying, I'm going to like shake and sob and be a wreck. But it destroyed me. And then I'm pissed, right? Because I get this report and I'm like, I love this person. So when I got the autism diagnosis, I was sad about that. These reports, there's nothing about Amos that makes me sad. Like, Amos really is amazing. And I think that, hold on, okay, there. I can like handle that. This is when you read a report about someone and you're like, who are they talking about? You know, like, this doesn't fit the person that I love. But it does. But you know, some of the results do fit. But it's like, child has flat affect. Child, you know, doesn't respond well to praise. Just negative, 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 negative. And so what I usually do is I think about myself and then I think about everybody else. So I call my friend up at DPI and I said, what's best practice? We know what policy is. Policy is law and best practice is best practice. What is best practice? And she said, best practice is that you meet ahead of time with the person to discuss the psychological testing results. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I've done that in the past. Our psychologist, who is awesome, she and I met and had lunch and went over the testing results. But this was a psychologist we didn't know because our school system, I don't know if we need another psychologist and can't get one or if we just contract out the evaluations. But note to self, don't ever have someone do an evaluation that doesn't know your child pretty well, you know? Yeah, Nikki said they should list a positive for every negative they list. Somebody was calling me. I don't know who it was. Poor YouTube. Let me put it on. Do not disturb. Focus. Do not disturb. There we go. I mean, who calls like that over and over again? So anyway, I just thought about all the people, and you get this report, and it's like the standard deviation, the mean is less than negative. The mean is less than 0.1%, and you're like, why does anybody need to read this? they don't need to read this, because now I'm looking at this report and I'm thinking, is this even accurate? Could it be little Thomas calling? He can call daddy if it's some sort of emergency. I doubt it. It was a number like from Virginia. No, it could be one of my other children. Now you're going to have me in a panic. But anyway, it was really hard. Really, really, really hard. All that negative information helps get services. No, but that's not true, Melissa. You don't have to have a negative, you have to, yes, you're supposed to observe, but there's some things that just are not productive. Like, doesn't make, this was one thing that is, I don't agree with because it's not best practice. And this is where I have an edge, right? Because this is my background, my education, my area. Child does not do an appropriate amount of eye contact. Well, research says that that kind of language is wrong when we think about people with autism. There is no appropriate amount of eye contact for people with autism, because that is, it's like saying person with one leg doesn't run as fast as everyone else. One, hello, we know this. And two, they have one leg. So that's important. Okay, I'm off. Carry on. I'll be back on at 8 p.m. on the Facebook to talk with Dr. Martinez about HCM. And HCM is a heart scenario that is very dangerous, and 80% of people, it goes undiagnosed. And so it's really important to know, like, are you breathless or do you have HCM? And now's my husband coming. Goodbye.